let us feast the old peepers on Biff Wellington, the 220-pounder out of Lloydminster, great wrestler, going up against the Prince of Pompousness, Goldie Rogers, or Pomposity, perhaps, 223 from Hollywood, California. It'll take him until, I don't know, halfway through this bout for him to finally take off that sequin jacket and his sunglasses. Somebody should just go over there, give him a couple of good swift kicks, and rip it off him.
Well, I got to agree with you. I don't like stalling in a match. People come to pay to see a great wrestling match. Give it to them. No stalling. The referee should move in and do his job and count the guy out. But let's get back to this Ricky Rice. I was supposed to interview him in the last part of the television. Of course, he never showed up, along with John Erickson. You know what I think? They were scared, and Ricky Rice is scared of Lethal Gary Cameron, and I think that's why Ricky Rice didn't show up, Jim.
Well, I have no idea why he didn't show up. I know that there are a lot of people who wish you had not shown up 1 week ago because you were the one who tore the British Bulldogs apart. You will go down in history as the man who accomplished that dastardly deed. I cannot believe it. I still can't believe it. You bushwhacking the Dynamite Kid. The stick gets taken away from you by Davy Boy Smith. Dynamite Kid turns around after he picks himself up off the canvas, his head bleeding. He sees Davy Boy Smith with that stick, automatically assumes it was Davy Boy. Suddenly, the British Bulldogs team was no more, and it's all your fault. And I'll tell you what, you're not going to win a lot of fans for that, Bulldog.
Well, I'm certainly a mark, man. Let's talk about the Bulldog. They're using the word Bulldog. Listen, I used it 20 years ago. I'm the real Bulldog. They're not. And if I'm responsible for breaking them up, I'm glad I broke them up. But what happened in the dressing room later on, Jim Davis? I wasn't there. Do I get blamed for that, too?
You don't get blamed for that. And why don't you watch our show when it's on television, and then you can find it, and hopefully you won't get your hands on any of the tape, because we'd hate you to run off with them again, as I'm sure you did 1 week ago.
You thought I ran away with the tape, didn't you?
Well, I'm not saying you're a light-fingered Louie. I'm just saying you're a very suspicious character, and you don't have all that much credibility, Bulldog.
Well, I know one thing, that we're watching a match in the ring, and let's get away from the Bulldogs. Hey, they're gone with the past. Ed Whalen's suspended. They're suspended. Johnny's suspended. And the Weasel, they suspended him for no reason at all. But here's a match I'm quite interested in. You know, Biff Wellington, him and Benoit has been sticking their nose into a lot of guys' business, and they've been quiet a little while. And I'll tell you the truth, they should be quiet because me and Kerry beat them for the title 3 weeks ago, but we haven't got the title. That's another part of Ed Whalen's doing, and to us, we should be the tag team champions now.
I'll try and find you a crying towel when time permits. In the meantime, in the ring, it is worth noting that Biff Wellington is ranked number 1 in that mid-heavyweight division. The champion, of course, Chris Benoit. Goldie Rogers, ranked number 5 in the same division. This should be a victory, according to what we see on paper, but as we always know, matches are not won on paper, they're won in the ring.
Do you think that Chris Benoit will give Wellington a chance at the title? You'd be waiting to 2050.
Well, I don't know if I really want to wait that long. One, just a 2 count. I'll tell you what, Biff Wellington is the number 1 challenger. Chris Benoit has an obligation to face the number 1 challenger. It would be a very difficult match for the two of them because they are such close friends.
I'll tell you, it's just a great match. Wellington has taken it right to him now. And I'll tell you the truth, Goldie Rogers usually saves the best for last. But I can't wait to see the end of the card today because you're going to see the best when Kerry Pitbull Brown versus Bruce Rice. Bruce the Heart. And I'll tell you, it's going to be an explosion. I'm going to sit back here and watch the match with you, James.
That should be an interesting bout. Bruce Hart against the Pitbull Brown. The bout I'm looking forward to is to see whether or not the speed and skill of Chris Benoit can overcome the size and brute force of Lethal Larry Cameron.
And don't forget Joe Khan, a newcomer, and they tell me that he's wicked.
Well, if he's a friend of Lethal Larry Cameron, he probably is wicked. Timekeeper Tommy Carr tells us we have passed the 5-minute mark in this bout, which is slated for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Biff Wellington against Goldie Rogers, and thus far, the first 5 minutes, it has been all Biff Wellington. Wellington doing the pitching, Goldie Rogers doing the catching.
You know, Jim, I tell you, I like watching Goldie Rogers. He seems to have everything going against him for the first 5 or 6 minutes. Then all of a sudden, he sees his opening like a good veteran does. I do the same thing. I let them have their fun for 7 or 8 minutes, and then when I move in, it's game all over.
It is game over. Usually for you, though, Bulldog.
Well, I don't think you saw me being defeated. I've won 2 matches here on television. You were here sitting right here. I won them both. So really, you've got nothing to say.
And you won them fair and square, I'm sure.
Hey, the only way to win is cheat at all costs.
Hey, we do not like that kind of talk. All you children out there, boys and girls, do not listen to Bulldog Bob Brown when he advocates cheating. If you pay attention to that, you might perish the thought, grow up to be just like him.
Oh, wouldn't that be great for some of those youngsters to be like me? There's only one of a kind, James, and you know it.
They broke the mold, and then they threw it away and burned it quickly.
And of course, you know, later on we got the Angel of Death versus Ron Ritchie. Ritchie's a great friend of yours, but I tell you, I think Ritchie chews a little bit more than he can handle this match of Angel of Death. What do you think about it?
Angel of Death, formidable. Almost 300 pounds, undefeated. Look at Wellington go to town. Here's the try for a pin. Unsuccessful. Benoit softening up his man. Off the ropes, there's that big clothesline. 1, 2, just a 2 count. Jurgen Herman keeping a weather eye on proceedings.
Biff Wellington has been all over him, but he hasn't come up with that 3 count. And that's something that tells me that Goldie's waiting for his opportunity.
Goldie might be waiting for his opportunity to take the next bus back to Hollywood, because he has been getting beat on pretty severely by Biff Wellington. But look at this pile driver. He won't come back from this, I don't think.
I tell you, what a tremendous move by Biff Wellington. That's a new one on me, but I'm glad he did it today so I can have a videotape of it, so when me and Kerry go on to beat these 2 guys, we'll know what they're capable of doing. I think it is all over, like you say.
It is all over. Biff Wellington emerges victorious, and you said Goldie Rogers would come on strong. He did not.
Well, I'm wrong at sometimes, but it was a great match, great television match. I'm really impressed with Biff Wellington with that new pile driver. Really impressed. That's one thing I can say about him.
You're an impressive kind of guy. We'll be right back right after this.